Hey there, this is a reply to VFX. Yeah, I know. He recently made that video about right and wrong that I feel I have to respond to. And since I really dislike Sean, I'm gonna skip any foreplay and go straight to the point because I just wanna get this over with. First, he makes the point that according to his beliefs, we are here for a reason, and if we cooperate with that reason, there will be reward in the afterlife. However, if we don't cooperate, there will be punishment. This is actually the moral concept that Christianity is based on, and I think there's a fundamental flaw in it. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you're walking down the street and you see a dog who was just hit by a car. Would you help that dog? I'm sure that some of you would rush to take it to a vet. Some of you would consider some variables, like how far away is the vet, and if you have enough time, and if you have the proper means to transport the dog, and so on. And some of you will just go on your way without caring about the dog at all. But now let's say that near the dog there is this sign which says, if you take this dog to a vet, you will receive $2,000 when you get there. This changes things a bit, no? And now let's say that near it there is another sign which says, oh, and by the way, there is a sniper on the top of that roof, and if you don't take the dog to a vet, you will get shot. This changes things a lot. But now, according to Christian morality, who is the better person? The one who took the dog to a vet out of kindness because they genuinely cared about it? Or the one who took the dog to a vet because they wanted $2,000 and were afraid of getting shot? And yet Christians, even when they admit this, because Sean basically is admitting this in his video, and still they feel morally superior, and they worship the God who has such moral standards. Then he gets into the free will aspect. He says that if we believe in evolution and don't believe in any divine intervention, then according to our beliefs, we don't really have free will. We are just obeying the laws of nature. So in this case, how can we hold people responsible for their actions? And I don't believe we have free will. I believe that our desires and drives and decisions all have causes. They are not free coming out of nowhere. Our decisions are just neural activities in the brain, which were caused by prior events, which were also caused by events before them, and so on. So even though, for instance, there is this popular belief that women cry for no reason. Coffee. I think every action is subjected to the universal laws of cause and effect. So in this case, why punish people? Why put people in jail for rape and murder if their actions were just the result of a chain of causes and effects they could not control? Precisely because we are programming each other. The human brain is like a computer. If you write a software telling it that murder is wrong, then less people will be likely to commit murder, and the society will be a better place for everyone. Which brings us to the source of morality. Sean says that that should be God, and I disagree. And Christians, they don't follow God's morality either. Because if they did, they wouldn't oppose gay marriage. They would kill gay people, because that's what the Bible tells you to do. And don't tell me that's in the Old Testament, because so are the Ten Commandments. The Bible also says that if you beat one of your slaves and he survives for a day or two and then he dies, you should pay no penalty. Now, tell me, when is the last time you've beaten one of your slaves, Sean? Tell me, where in the Bible does it say that slavery is wrong? Where in the Bible does it say that selling your daughter to marry a stranger against her will for money is wrong? Nowhere. Because those things were not considered wrong according to the social morality of the times when the Bible was written. But they are considered wrong now, because our morality is evolving. We are learning from our mistakes. We realize that it is socially detrimental to regard other people as property. The purpose of morality shouldn't be to serve a God, but to better the society, which is exactly where the source of morality lies. You don't want murder to be considered moral, because you don't want to go outside and get stabbed to death. Your liberty to throw your fist in the air should end where my face begins, and not where your God says so, because if it did and I got raped, according to your God's morality, I would be forced to marry my rapist. We are still making mistakes, obviously, but we do continue to evolve with the purpose of creating a better, safer, more productive society. That is, unless you let dogma rule society, and we know how things go when that happens. Just take a look in the Middle East. You also make the claim that atheists should not say don't do that is wrong, because that sounds just like thou shalt not, which originated with your God. And that's a pile of bullcrap. Moral codes existed way before Christianity. And there are plenty of thou shalt nots that are not mentioned in the Bible, but you still obey them. It never says in the Bible thou shalt not pee on thy neighbor's cat. And yet you don't do it, because that would be rude. Not to mention dangerous if you know anything about cats. It also doesn't say thou shalt not file false DMC against thy neighbor, and yet you don't... Wait, that doesn't work, you do that. You end your video by saying that you don't want to see any more of our fingers, because if we are atheists, we have no business saying thou shalt not, since that came from your God. Which again is either ignorance of human history and history of religions, or you're purposely lying in order to manipulate your audience. And I am tempted to show a finger, but I will keep this civil and end it here. On another note, I don't usually do that, but I want to give a shout out to the guys from the Theretarcrew because they're just that awesome. I think you remember the Christian side hug song.
I'm a rough rider, filled up with Christ's love. Give me that Christian side hug, that Christian side hug.
Now thanks a lot for the love you've given to my little lame rap parody of it, but when I saw the parody made by those guys, I literally spilled my coke laughing.
Yeah,
Father's house.
This is Christian Side Hug Part 2.
Drop it! No more Christian side hugs, that's just too dangerous. Cause all that touching, rubbing shoulders, feeling blasphemous. I love the Christ Lord, He is my Savior. So let's all air slap and mind our behavior. No more Christian side hugs, that's just too dangerous. Cause a side hug turned to a front hug, turned to some cocaine, turned to some angel dust. Side hugging, praying, but it's a slippery slope. Cause everybody started side hugging, now they're doing the dope. So we got a new option, I'll explain it in rap. There's no touching involved and it's called the air slap. So don't cry to the Lord when you get date rape drugged. Cause any kind of hug is a gateway hug, no touching. No more Christian side hugs, that's just too dangerous.
Also, I want to clear something up because I have featured another of their songs on my channel for a while, and I was shocked to get messages from you asking me why am I featuring those Christians hating on Jews. And I was just as shocked looking through their comments to see that so many people just don't get that they are satire. Anyway, if you are one of those people, please don't feel too bad. I recently heard a very wise saying. There's much truth to it. Satire does not belong on the internet.
I said I'm a Christian. She said she's a Jew. And I said that's okay, that's cool, cause Jesus was one too. Yeah, I went to my youth minister to ask him for advice. He said you can't date that girl, cause the Jews they killed our Christ. Girl, I really like you, I think that you are nice. I could almost fall in love with you if you hadn't killed the Christ. I met this girl named Hannah, she told me she was a Jew. Still went out on a couple of dates until I told her we were through. I said your grandfather's 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 boss is grandfather, 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 near my Lord to a cross.
That's about it. Please check out the sidebar and give the Theretarcrew some love, because I'm feeling kinda guilty for the hate they've been getting since I featured them. Also, with the things going on in the world now, I don't even feel like saying Happy New Year. But I do wish a better 2010 for everyone. Think more, talk more, act more, and don't pee on cats.